All right, so this is our first recording. Welcome to Desert Dialogues. I'm Raquel,
I'm Esther.
and we just want to have some open and candid conversations. We figured we always talk, like we're always meeting and talking, and we always have very insightful conversations. So we figured it's a new year, might as well just start having these conversations and sharing them with people we may find useful. So, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody.
So the new year for me, I don't know how your new year went. I think we talked about it a little bit, but I woke up 2 minutes before New Year's was over, like before the
Sounds
new year
like
began.
you.
Yeah, it was 11:58, and the kids was like, "Get up, mommy," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I should get up." I wasn't going to, but I got up, brought the New Year's in with the neighbors, and it was fun. I can't lie, I had fun.
Mine was
What did
nothing
you?
like yours. My preference is to be like, like the last couple of years, be at home in my bed at 10 and tune everything out and then just see my kids in the morning. But this year, I was volunteering at church with other people's kids. And bringing in the new year with a group of 80 children is something. It's not something I want to repeat, but it's something. It was fun. We drove home, got home about 2 o'clock in the morning, slept in till like 9:30, but it was good. It was good. It's something different. Like you said, new us. I mean, new you, new me, you knew us. So for me, that's a new
Mhm.
thing. Now I have to decide if I want to do that again.
It would be a no for me, but I'm just saying. It'd be a no for me. I love kids. I love my kids. I just like I think next year I might actually sleep past New Year's. I don't want to be around any kid, anybody. I just want to sleep in and wake up well rested. What next year New Year's gonna be on Tuesday, right? Like on a
Something
Tuesday,
like
right?
that. Hmm.
It was on Monday this year. So I'm gonna be tired. I'm already projecting that I'm gonna be sleepy.
You know your words have power, right? So if you want to be if you want that to be your situation, then let it be. I want to ring in the new year better than I was this past year. That's all I'm saying. Not
Now that is
cranky,
true.
not
I just want to
unhappy,
That is
rested.
true. Definitely, definitely. And that brings us into what we was going to talk about, goal setting. You know,
Hmm.
preparing these goals for this year and next year. I do want to get some rest. I need to get more rest this year. But goal
I think as
setting.
moms, we
So
need to get more rest. Always. We don't get enough
definitely,
because we're too busy taking care of other
definitely.
people and not taking care of ourselves. And that's why the goals do come in handy. Because if you have something to set your mind to over the course of the year, you can focus on that. So you can be doing your juggling your mommy, wife, all those kind of duties, but then you have this for yourself. So for your own little self care a little bit in whatever state that might look like. And I like the fact that you said this would be a good topic because you're talking about it more as personal, but you know me, I'm always on the business end. So I want us to balance,
Mhm.
and I'd love to hear what you have what you have in your mind as far as your goals for the year. And I want us to each come up with a word for the year for us to kind of keep each other accountable.
Okay, okay. And I was thinking about that too because he was like, "What's your New Year word?" I'm like, I didn't even think about a
I
New Year
can't hear
word.
you, sis.
Oh my gosh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Check. 1, 2.
I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. So you asked me that, well, you texted, right? And I sent my word. My word was successful, right? Because that's
Hmm.
what I want to be in everything that I do this year. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. I had looked up some
Okay.
things and I was like, I should. Some people have like a power phrase for the year. And I was like, no, successful is that's what I want to do. All my little endeavors that I'm, tapping into and, getting more serious about or letting go. I just want everything to be done in a way that's successful. So for me, you're more business, I'm more personal, but then I have a lot of businesses. So I have
Hmm.
some goals for each business and I have some goals for my personal life. And a lot of it is like just balancing. I'm what they call those visionaries. I see like this huge vision, like big picture type of thing. Like overall, this is what I want my life to look like. But this year, I'm being like, all right, this year is how I want my life to look like. So now I'm just like focusing more smaller, like more less like it's not as broad as it was. Yes, I still want a G-Wagon or Maserati, and I want a 10-bedroom mansion. But
Okay.
this year, I'm just gonna work on my G-Wagon fund and my Maserati fund and put money towards it. A goal of, a dollar amount to put towards my G-Wagon. I just want a G-Wagon because it just demands attention when you're on the road. When I see that G-Wagon, I like immediately respect that person for some reason. I don't know. So that's why don't ask me why. It just when you're on the road, you just slow down a little bit. Like I'm not gonna hit that car.
Mm,
That's I
mm.
want that. Don't hit my car. I got a Buick. They might think it's a grandma. And they're like, oh shoot, it's a young lady in there. Right. But the G-Wagon, it don't matter who's in the car. You're gonna slow down. You're not gonna hit that car. You're gonna be careful how you tread around
Ultimate
them.
respect. Mm-hmm.
Ultimate respect. So that's my goal, a
Mm-hmm.
G-Wagon. But I have a G-Wagon fund. I want a pool. I got a pool fund.
There you go.
So that's how I'm doing my year. I want to take
And I love
vacations.
that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's different.
I love the idea of the fun because I think a lot of times we have these goals, and the reason we don't feel comfortable setting them next year is because we didn't meet them. But I like the fact that you're not thinking small. It's like, hey, I have a big vision. I just know I
Mm,
can't do it this year unless like a miracle happens, and it can because you already know what you want. But my dad always says, I'm Nigerian. He always has these parables and phrases he said, and he always says, small, small waka na imbi dance. That means it's the small steps you take that lead to the dance, which is the bigger picture. So you're just taking little steps here and there, but the
mm,
dance is going to be when you have that G-Wagon. But we're not dancing yet. We're just taking the
mm,
steps, putting the pennies in the little cupboard until we get to a
mm,
place where it's in the bank and we can take it out and get what you want. So I love that. So for
exactly. And
that, so success, that for you would be success, or that's just for
mm,
your personal life.
that's for both. Honestly,
Okay.
that's like if we had like what is it? Almost like a T chart or a chart. It would meet that G-Wagon fund would meet personal and business. So I'm gonna write
Mm.
it off. But then I'm also going to enjoy it personally. So
Hey, why not?
I'm gonna get my money
Why
back
not?
for the money I spent. So yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
much like with my goals. I want to take some vacations, so I did a vision board virtually on my phone. Oh wait, you don't see all that. Boop, a little vision board.
I still don't know how you
And
did that. You're gonna have to share that, the steps for
oh
that to
yes,
make it easier.
definitely. It wasn't too hard. It was actually pretty easy. It just seems harder than what it should have been. Like it looks more complicated than what it is. It,
So for
it's
those
easy.
of us who lack the technical abilities that you do, what you say is easy does not come because you say do boop boop boop, and I'm like, girl, I don't know. I still am at the first step. So will you at some point maybe help us out with that? Show us those of us who are a little bit challenged, like myself, to kind of come up with that because I enjoy making vision boards, but I don't enjoy get looking for magazines and things like that. So the way you did it seemed like you just kind of said what you wanted and then you kind of put it on the board and you can carry that with you everywhere, which with a vision board, unless you take a picture of it, it's not the same. So is that something that you'd be willing to do for us?
Yeah, definitely. Because you went to our vision board party last year, and I know you're
That
going
was
to
awesome.
another one. So I'm still going to do like a physical vision board, but it's probably going to be at the mercy of what magazines we have or what I had time to print out. And you know me, I don't be having time to print out things because that's called planning, and we working on that. So I already know
Mhm.
myself that I'm not going to do it. Like I'm just gonna make a vision board with what I have. But with this, you could be specific as you want to be. Like you want this Whirlpool dishwasher model XYZ, you can go find it, take the picture, and put it right there. You want this
Mm.
specific house on ABC 123 Street, you can go take the picture of that house and put it right there. So it was easy. It's simple. Simply instead of like scavenging through and cutting out letters and pictures out of the magazine, Googling photos and, taking already made, you know, um, quotes. Can't even think of the word
Mm.
quotes, and pasting them in not paste, but copy paste. Yeah, so pasting them
Mhm.
into my Canva. um, my Canvas little document. So I will definitely show you, and we can walk through this together, and we could do it. And it's easy. It's literally like a 1, 2, 3 step, maybe 4 steps, but we can do it together.
Okay, I'd love that. Well, I'm gonna go on to mine. I think I struggle with finding a word. For the last 2 years, my word has been focus. And I think I got so focused in my business part that I want to get a little bit away from that in a sense. I think my word for this year is going to be confidence. I kind of reflected on some things that I didn't do right last year, and I realized that I held myself back from a lot of opportunities, whether a personal or business, because I felt this person's above my lid. They make too much. They wouldn't want to work with somebody like me, or oh, they have other options. But then I have to realize like I bring a lot to the table, and a lot of people that I have worked with above my lid in the last year, they were like, I've gone to this company, and your service is awesome. So I was like, why was I so hesitant to reach out or hesitant when they called me thinking, oh, maybe I should refer them? No, why can't I be that person? So this year I'm going to put aside my insecurities when it comes
Yeah.
to anything, whether it's personal, whether my looks, my hair, oh, my hair is too, oh, I don't like it's not even insecurities. No, I'm going to be confident when I walk into a room. It doesn't have to be like everybody look at me, but it's going to be, I want to exude confidence in every room I walk into, whether it's business, personal. If I walk into the church, I don't want everybody to turn and look at me, but I don't want to be head down and just, oh, I want to go in there with an air of confidence so people can look at me and say, you know what, she has something to offer. I just want to know what it is. So for me,
Yeah.
my word is confidence.
I love that. And I can see that. And I think as business owners, especially, we're a business, we both have businesses that are service related. So we don't have a
Hmm.
product that we could hide
Nothing
behind. We
tangible.
have a
Yeah.
service,
Hmm.
like our service, our whole being is our business, our mind, especially intellectually. So it's like you are in business, you are successful because of what you know and how you're helping people. And everyone won't know unless you do, speak up and be confident or, you know, I say command the confidence or command the
Ooh.
attention. You don't want the
Hmm.
attention, but you just still want the
Yeah.
respect, like where they speak to you, they're not like, well, what are your credentials? Like, are you even
Mm.
certified to do that, like
Hmm.
I think that's good because you do it. You already have the confidence. You're like, I'm not doing that. Like you have the confidence. You just it comes I think for you it's like when you're in a large crowd. You don't like being around a lot of people
I
like
don't
I
like
do.
that attention. No.
I don't
That's
mind.
what makes it so interesting that we're kind of opposites, but then the same because we're both mother of three children. We both are
Mhm.
wives. We take care of our family, but we have different things that, like, you can walk in a room and you're like, "Hey," and I was like, I'll sit down in the cut and be like, "I'll wait for them
I
to come."
talked to this
But being
girl.
around you, though, I've seen that, and I'm like, Raquel does so well, and it's not like, look at me. It's just you walk in and you're laughing and you're, hey, hey, and you walk in the room and everybody's, oh, who's she talk? Who's that person? And I'm just like, dang. Then I'm like, oh, let me just go run up with her. And it's the same. But your energy is contagious, and that's what I love. And I want my energy to be the same this year. So thank you for
Yeah.
being my, I guess my what would you call it? I don't want to say my influence. That's not a good word. What would that be?
Be
It
an
would be
influence.
my
I'm trying to be an influencer
okay.
anyway.
Positive influence to help me
Yeah,
realize that I can be the person that I want to be at all times. And I don't think
mhm.
there's anything wrong with that. Exuding confidence. So that's
Definitely not. I like that word, confidence. We got confidence and successful. And
success.
I do like our relationship together because we are opposites and we could say that all the time. Like we are really opposites. Like you're about the business. Like I don't care about none of that. Let's get down to business. Me, I'm like, let's have fun. We'll talk about this like whenever you're ready, I guess.
Yeah, we can come there
Even
for
though it should be
business, and
like
then
right
2 hours later, I'm like, can we just? So
now. Get
you
right
bring us
to it.
down to earth.
Yeah, I like
So.
and I do I'm still like I still want to do that but like you said, you influence me to be like, okay, let's get the business together and then we can have fun later. Like, I could balance that. That's what I'm working on too. And if I could can we add a minor word? Like
Mhm.
Can I add, like, I got my primary work, got my major, and now I got my minor, So my major
Hmm.
is successful, my minor is balance. Can we do that?
Mm.
Can we do
Okay,
that?
if I said let's have minor, mine would be accountability because I feel without accountability, even a lot of the goals we have, if you don't have somebody you're sharing it with, or sharing them with, a lot of times by the third, fourth month of the year, if you're not inching closer to it, I think we kind of lose sight of it. And it's like we forget. We look at the vision board and it's just something that we walk past every day, or we look up, depending on if yours is on your ceiling or whatever the case may be. But if you have somebody who's like, hey, you know what? I've shared mine with you. You share what yours with me. Let's see where we are in a month. Let's see where we are in two. Then it keeps you on task with your goal. So mine would be accountability, finding people who are like minded, who want to see me succeed, and saying, hey, this is what you want to do. How are we going to get there? What is your
Right.
plan A for each month? Is it little bitty steps every month, every week, every day? How can I help you make sure that you're walking in that direction? So yeah, I like the
Make
idea of a mini word. I like that.
Yeah, because it's like that, the main focus, but then here's the focus still, because, they're not all encompassing. They all have,
Hmm.
like, a certain type of way to, that focus that brings that certain focus. Now, also, so you was talking about sharing with each other our
Hmm.
goals. Now, I see few people, like, social media is always like new year, new me, new leader 2024, 2023 energy, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff, right? So I was seeing one, not one, but I seen a few people. It's like a mixture where some people's like vision board, here's what I'm doing, and then some people's like holding it to their chest, like, I'm not sharing my vision board, like my goals. Like, do you think we benefit from withholding our like goals to ourselves, internally, or we do our vision board, but then I'm not sharing it with you, I'm keeping it to myself?
I think I see. I mean, I see both sides. I think on one hand, I can see where a person shares their information and then other people jump on their ideas. I can see
Hmm.
where somebody shares their information and people poo-poo it. Oh, well, girl, that's too big, or oh, that's all your goal is, or what makes you think you can get there? And it's like, well, then, heck, what's the point? But then I also see people who say, you know what, I'm gonna just put it out there, and whoever catches it with me, catches it with me. And I feel like those are the people who are they're more confident about their goals. So they're like, I'll shout it from the rooftop. If I get there, at least I'm gonna try. I mean, if I don't get
Right.
there, at least I tried. And then the people who hold it
Right.
to themselves, I feel like in a sense, and I don't want to say this for everybody, but I feel it's a sense of if I don't get there, nobody else will know. And I
Hmm.
think sometimes we say, oh, we don't want to share because we don't want anybody else to take our goal or take our dream. But I think sometimes it's a lack of accountability. We don't want to be accountable, or we don't want people to know, so that if we don't meet the goal, it's not like, oh, well, what happened to that big house on the mansion you said you wanted to get? And it's like, yeah, I didn't do
Right.
that last year. And I put that on for the last 2 years. But then again, if you had an accountability partner, this person would be like, hey, you said you wanted $1 million house. So to get there, what have you done? Well, I have 1,000. Well, girl, you got to do more than that. But an accountability
Right.
partner would say, hey, by the half of the year, you need to have 10 grand at least. Having a thousand every year and saying you're getting a mansion. So I feel like if you're doing vision boards, it should be with like-minded people. If they're not like-minded people, then you shouldn't be doing it with them. It's better you do it at home and then call your girlfriend and be like, hey, this is what I have. Let's come together. Let me share with you my goals. But putting it out there to the world, to me, I'm not sharing my vision board on social media. That's nobody's business. That's the business
Right.
of my family or those in my close circle. So I can see
Yeah.
both sides. What are your thoughts about it?
No, I see it both sides as well. Like, I see it, definitely it's easy to not share your goals with other people. And sorry, my dog. If you don't move, move. I see it where if you don't share, if I was to keep my goals and then I don't meet it, there's no embarrassment. But then it's like also who's gonna like, touch base with me and be like, hey, you say you're going to Turks and Caicos, like how's that going? Did you buy your ticket? Are you, booking your room? Like what are you doing? Or you may want to go, like I feel like some of my goals or anyone's goals can be like cross shared with someone else. So we might have similar goals and now we could work harder. I mean, work not harder, but work smarter together to reach that similar goal, like a
Mm-hmm.
vacation. I want to go on vacation. You're like, I want to go on vacation. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, let's work together. So now instead of me, paying for everything. Now we're going on vacation and we're splitting some of the costs because that's one of my vision board goals tapped off, like checked off. So I think it's I think it's all about the energies of who you share it with.
Mm,
Like you said, the
mm-hmm.
similar goals, who got that shared goal. Because if someone's like thinking, either below or super high and they're looking down on you like, snobby way, then you may not want to share with them because they're not looking out for your best interest. But I don't think we should keep it from everyone. I'm not going to post it on social media, because social media, I don't know, social media is just social media. It's just
And I think
something else.
people that even like you said, like the vision party, I was thinking about it after we spoke. I don't think I'm going because I don't know anybody there. So I think most of the time, those kind of places we put a lot of fluff. Oh, I want a mansion. Oh, I want a house. Oh, I want to go to this. And they're like, oh, girl, get it. Oh, girl, get it. And it's like, no, but there's other things I really want that matter more to me. But you know that the crowd there probably won't be feeling it and they won't understand it. So for me, it's like, hey, if you do one, we can come together, a couple of us, and be like, hey, this is it. This is what my goals. And then you know me, I always get down. So in 3 months, how much goals are you going to be? Like one of my goals, business wise, because you know how I think. My goal is I want to
Mhm.
help that 100 families this year, and somewhere or the other. And I know with what you do, if you meet people, I'd be like, hey, I refer people to you, and you refer. We can increase. Let's say I don't know what your numbers are this year. I think you mentioned that you want to help. Is it 4 families a month or something? I don't remember. But at that, I could refer people to you and help you get closer to that. But if you didn't tell me that that was your goal, I would just be like, she has too much business going on. I don't want to, I don't want to interfere or get her overwhelmed. But if you're like, hey, my goal is to help 50 families and
Mhm.
get homes this year, I'll be like, okay, I come across more people than that. There might be people that I want to send your way because I want to help you accomplish that goal and vice versa. So in speaking it, I think we help one another as well as ourselves versus
Mhm.
keeping it inside. But you and I are like minded. So,
Right. Nope, I agree with you, and I like that. So I'm like that. We're like-minded. I like that. Like the goal setting, it's like we're thinking outside of the box in a way because we're thinking about being realistic. Because we could dream, but I like to just dream in my sleep. Mostly I don't want to dream. I want to live a good life, a real life. I don't want to be dreaming about the real life. And sometimes I know I have my old vision boards and they're dreams, like I got something that's like I don't know. It's some crazy stuff on there. I got this big old house, but I was like before before I was a realtor full time, I got this big old mansion, but I'm selling cable. Now how in the world am I gonna get selling cable? They like make it make sense. If I'm working selling cable and internet, how am I supposed to buy a $10 million house on a
hmm
$60,000 salary? Like, make that make sense. Like, the math just
hmm
doesn't math that way. So now
hmm
it's like I have realistic goals. Like, honestly, and I'm gonna tell you, one of my goals is I want a new dishwasher. That's my goal this year.
That's real for you.
Yeah, I want a new
hmm
dishwasher. Like,
And
I
you have
want
to
to get
give it a name. Is it Kenmore? Is it what is it? You give
the
it the
world.
specific. You have to have specifics.
It gotta
Okay.
match my microwave and stove. So it's
Mhm.
or
Okay.
put, I want a new dishwasher with the third row tray. They got these
Okay.
dishwashers where they have 3 rows. So you got the rack for your plates, you got a rack for your bowls, and then you got a rack for there's you just lay
Okay.
them. I got cups. I don't got no kids like babies like that, so I don't need the bottle cleaner, but I need a tumbler cleaner. So yeah, I want one
But that's
that
what's
thinks.
important to you. You have to do what's important to you. I don't use the dishwasher, girl. So that's to me, I'm like, whatever she wants. But that's what you want. That's what matters to you. And that's what we have to focus on. And if that matters to you, then it matters to me. I'm going to say at the middle of the year, if you haven't put money aside or have that fund or whatever, it's going to be like, are you serious? Because the dishwasher is the least of your concerns. So at least start with the dishwasher so you can click it off your list. So
Hmm.
but what's
Yeah, that's.
important to you is what's important to you, and put it on your vision board. It's important to you and your family.
Mhm.
So why not?
You can see this, right? Oh, you can't see it. So, yep, that's what I want to do, right? And then now we were talking about the things that we're going to leave in 2023. I didn't really think hard on this. I should have thought harder about it, but there's a few things I want to leave in 2023.
What are you going to leave
And
in 2023?
Inconsistency. I don't want to
Mm.
be inconsistent with things that I start and don't finish. I'm huge on starting projects. I'm huge on, like even in my business, I have to be consistent. My life with the kids, everything, I have to like have this consistent flow. And I want to leave the inconsistent Raquel in the past, like 2023, inconsistent, 2024. Well, okay, I won't say whole 2023 I've been inconsistent. It was just, we had like little scatters, skips in there. But 2024, I want to be consistent. That's
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I want to leave the
Well, give me a
shenanigans.
chance. Let's do back. Let's go back and forth.
I'm on
Okay,
the roll. My
because
bad.
she said I didn't have anything, and then she's like blah blah blah. I would say if we're talking about things we're leaving behind, mine is kind of in relation to yours. Mine would be distraction because I have all these plans. I have and I have to. My kids make fun of me now because in my phone I write down everything, and I think you've noticed that before. I write when we met, when I leave, because I want to know what I'm doing with my time. Because sometimes I'm like I work hard today and then there are no results. And I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, I talked to Raquel for 4 hours, talked to my sister for 2, talked to my mom for 3. But I thought I was hard at work. So distractions for me are a thing. Because I'll have a whole plan for my day, but if it's not in my calendar, I'm not doing it. So I have to realize I need to chop up my calendar in a way that makes sense for me. Because I also realize that even with my children, I'll be like, hey, we're going to have Friday night movie night. And then I'm on my phone because during earlier in the day, I got distracted with a phone call from my cousin or somebody. So I didn't get to make a phone call with the client or I didn't text the information. So then when I'm supposed to be spending time with my kids, I'm distracted because I'm doing business. So I want to learn to not just be distracted and balance.
I like that. And I piggyback off of that too, because we working on that over here as well, as limiting my distractions because we know, and as everyone that listens to this podcast will learn, I am a squirrel OG, okay?
Squirrel.
We a squirrel over here, okay? And we be we be squirreling. So even like before we recorded, I have to like stop randomly to send a text message. We be squirreling. So I want to leave the squirrel in 2023. I at least want to leave the OG squirrel in 2023. I might have a little squirrel in me still because I got a lot of interest in things, and that's another thing that goes like into limited beliefs. I'm leaving limited beliefs in the past. Like to think that, and this goes with that confidence you was talking about, to think that you can't talk to a certain earner, high earner, and service them. Okay, that's a limited belief because yes, you can. And that's what I want to do with myself too. I don't want to just limit myself to a certain buyer or limit myself to a certain topic. Like I call myself the Jackie of all trades because I like to do a lot of things, and nothing's wrong with that. People put in our minds that you do like yes, you do have to be a master of something because you could be a master if you jack of all trades, a
All
master of
trades,
none.
master of none.
It's true partially, but it's like I don't want to just eat, breathe, sleep, and just eat, breathe, sleep real estate. It's not the only thing that interests me. So that's a limited belief that I have to just focus on one single thing. Like if I have an interest in crafts or an interest in nails, I could pursue that. And if I find that I am pretty good at something, that either I could turn it into another business with, uh, manage time, managing my time with it, there's nothing wrong with it. If you find yourself interested, you're a financial advisor, not saying you, but now you finding yourself wanting to become a teacher or an artist, why can't you do both? Or why can't you, you said I people do I actually when I went to school, when I was in college a long time ago, I went to school with a guy, an older man, an older gentleman. He was pretty old. He was very he retired 30 years doing, I think it was like It was in Tennessee, so it was like factory work he did for
Mm.
like 30, 40 years. And he brought his old behind, he brought his mature behind to college with his son. He was like 70. His son was 50. And they were freshmen together in college. He didn't have a limited belief. He felt no matter what his age, he could do it. So that's my thought. When I think about that type of stuff, I'm like, if that mature man could do it, I could do it.
And
Anybody
I
could
and I
do it.
agree with that. I think they're also I think with what you said, being a jack of all trades, master of none. I think it's I don't want to say it's limiting because at the same time, there's certain things that we were just gifted by God for. I love writing. Like my kids, I hate ELA. I'm getting a C. A what? I got A's in English. Like to me, English is so easy. So writing for me is it's nothing. So somebody says, "Oh, you want to write a 10-page paper? Cool." Math? No. But if somebody's like, oh, I want to write a story about this, I've written proposals for people, proposal stories for people, just because I love it. So I do it on the side. I work in financial services, but it's not my heart and soul. Like you said, you don't live and breathe any one thing other than your family. But yeah, I like to
Right.
edit. I like to write stories. I like to engage with people. I love volunteering. It doesn't pay me anything, but I enjoy it. So
Mhm.
I think it's also getting closer to your goals, being mindful of the fact that you are a human being and that you have passions. So not to neglect your passions, trying to gain wealth or riches or be this particular person. Still be yourself, still enjoy. If you love to make music or you find time, even if it's an hour a day, give yourself time for yourself so you can enjoy the little things and then it's not all work and no play. You know what I mean? So that balance
Right.
is there. And I really appreciate the fact that you brought that up because you are a master of a lot of different things. So
Good
and
doing
and
them
the,
things.
and I feel like you balance it out really well. If you're doing real estate, you give it all to your client. If you're doing nails, you give it all to your client. And I think that as long as you're not absent-minded or you're not missing appointments or whatever, I think that if you're masterful at certain things, then give it your all. Now, if you don't know how to do nails all the way right, then yeah, no. But if you can master
Make
certain things
people
and do them
happy.
well, yes. So I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. And I think for me, it's being feeling worthy. Because sometimes as a mom, I'm like, like I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, every time I get a little bit of money, I'm like, I'm gonna go buy myself a belt. So and then I'm like, you know what? My son he needs track shoes. So let me go get him track shoes. And I'm like, I could have got myself a $15 belt, but for some reason, I'm like, as a mom, this is my duty. I ought to be doing this.
Hmm.
And I'm like, and I do that in business too. It's like, oh, I shouldn't do this until I've done this. And I want to meet this before we go on a vacation. I want to feel worthy that the things that I've done, I want to say they're
Hmm.
sufficient because sometimes I feel like I'm lacking too, but I'm worthy of good things. I'm worthy to get my hair done. I'm worthy to try on makeup because your eyes, I've been talking about your eyes are popping. I don't know how to do all that because, but shout out to my esthetician Betta Murdoch. She keeps my face clean and tight. But at the same time, I don't know how to make you wear makeup. I wear a little bit of this and it smears all over the place. But I mean, those are things that I'm not good at. But at the same time, I
Right.
want to get better at. But as far as leaving behind, just being mindful of the words I speak about myself, my children, and
Hmm.
others. I feel like I have good intentions, but the words I speak, I need to watch them very carefully because I don't realize that I'm speaking out negativity. Oh, I'm not
You're
going to meet
right.
that goal. Or, oh, I'm so far from that. So I think a lot of us, we're not mindful of the fact that we want this, but we're speaking the opposite. So I want to be
You're
more
right.
mindful of the words that I speak in 2024.
I love that. And that's same. And I always tell people, do I tell people? Maybe I tell myself more than
She said, I
anybody
tell
else.
myself.
I am people. Okay. I got Roquel, we got Rocky, we got some people up there telling us that I know well, back to what was I saying? I was like, I be telling people I am people. But no, it is a mindset thing. I don't know if you read any like of the like Eckhart Tolle's or the Don what's his name? Don Ruel McGee's Miguel Ruiz. Don Miguel Ruiz. The Four Agreements. Have you heard the book, The Four Agreements? Oh,
No.
I can't even think of the right writer, but the Four Agreements. So basically, he like it's all mentally, and Eckhart Tolle
Mm,
too, especially Eckhart Tolle. he talks about like how, and even the Bible, like these are all like, it's all like what they call it, like philosophy type of stuff. So the Bible's like
Mm-hmm.
one of the big philosophical type of like history book. I don't know. It's an all in one book. Like you can learn math in the book too if you really
Mm-hmm.
look at it. Anyways, the point is they talk about very similar things, and those similarities is like how our words speak, our words turn into actions, but even writing it down is something else that is even more powerful than our words. And it's just a mindset, like changing our mindsets, like all those negative beliefs, all of those like the negative self-talk that we do. I can't do this, when we're going on stage, or I I don't think I could talk in front of people. I'm gonna be nervous. I might crap myself or something. But then look at, we're doing our first podcast together. So it's like, something that would be negative. We're like, no, we talk too much. That's a negative. Okay, if I wanted to leave another thing in 2023, I want to leave all them negative teachers that didn't believe in me in kindergarten to 12th grade when they said I talk too darn much. Okay? I talk just enough. Okay? I don't even talk a lot. There's people who talk way more than me. So, but I have been trying to speak more intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just blabbering things out is being left in 2023. But I just want to say, hi, haters, in 2020. Wait, no. Hi, haters.
Bye.
And hi, haters. Hey, lovers. Just kidding. No, before they used to say I talk too much. On all my report cards, my mom, I remember like there was only like 1 or 2 years that she got upset. And then after that, she couldn't get upset no more. And then in high school, she really couldn't get upset. I'm like, girl, you can't be mad at me. You already knew I talk too much. Like, it's consistent. I am consistent with that. I'm very talkative. They found all sorts of ways. I should go find my report cards right now. Show y'all I'm consistent with the talkativities. Oh, is that a good word?
That's
Let me
a
write that
word.
down.
Oh, talkativity.
Talkativities.
You're
Uh,
loquacious.
loquacious. Who's that?
Yes, ma'am. That's who you are. You talk a lot.
Loquacious. I have to find that
You
word.
are
I don't know what
loquacious.
loquacious. Look up loquacious. If y'all know what
Yes.
loquacious means, can you please put that?
For
Because
you and your dictionary.
yeah, how do you spell that? I, I don't even think I spelled it right.
Loquacious, something like that.
Cious. Oh, I put T. I was a
No.
spelling bee champion, but that word got me. Okay. Well, this was a pretty good episode, I must say.
Mhm.
I think we went over a lot. We went over goal settings. Oh, we did not go over our projections. What do
Okay.
we see? I'm a realtor, so I deal with houses. You're a financial, what we call you?
Financial
Financial
coach,
coach.
consultant,
Oh,
educator, investment advisor. I like money. I help people with money and getting empowered about their money.
money. Money. There's a song about that. But
Money, money,
so
money,
real
money. Okay,
estate,
sorry.
yeah, there's money, money. That's all she all about money and budgets. I know when we first met, I was so scared to show you my budget and my bank account. Oh my God, I was stressed. I was
But it's not the same as it used to be. You're in a better place than when you
no,
started. That's it. So,
definitely. But I was stressed. I was like, oh my gosh, girl, please don't judge me. My bank account is not where it's supposed to, and my budget is definitely my my budget is more than my income. Okay, like, we gotta fix that, and we did. So, amen to that. But back to projection. So, like I said, housing. Now, everyone's always afraid, and this is just for people who want to know, like a little extra, like what I project, how the real estate market's going to be in Arizona. I can't speak on everyone else's market in North Carolina, Tennessee, California, none of them. But we talking about Arizona. So in Arizona, the market is it's not bad. I always tell people if you need to buy a house, then buy a house. Don't be afraid of the market. It's trending that rates may go down. They are, dropping a little bit here and there. But if you need to move, don't be like, oh my God, it's not a good time to buy. It's always a great time to buy. Supply and demand is going to play a huge role in our pricing. Um, I see it that as these rates are going down, the prices may start creeping back up, but people are still gonna buy a home because now it's like, well, heck, they're not going to get any better than this, and I'm missing out on equity, and I could have been in the house, but I let Joe Schmo tell me that's the worst time in the world. First of all, is Joe Schmo licensed? Do he watch the market
Mhm.
every day? Has he even bought a house? He probably didn't even buy a house, and he's telling you don't buy a house. Don't listen to him. So, anyways, that's my little brief. We could talk in more details about real estate. I do get passionate about it because it just bugs me when people say it's not a good time to buy, it's not a good time to sell. It's always, and that's just not. I'm not just saying that because I want your money. You can have a different realtor. I don't care. They're not gonna take care of you like I'm gonna take care of you. But still, I love everyone. But yeah, it's always a great time to buy and sell. Call me.
And I think that's the same thing when it comes to investing too. A lot of people feel like I had people in COVID. Hey, the market's at like -2. I think you should take out. You never when it's time for sales when you're at a store. It's not when you go return your stuff. You go buy more stuff. So if you are seeing the negatives, that's when you buy more because you want to have more shares. Because when it does go up, then what you bought at like $5 a share is now going to be 10 or 20. So that's what you want to do, not get crazy and sad and I want to sell all my stuff. The only time that you lose money in the market really is when you sell. And when you
Mm.
sell low, you're really losing. So it's just a matter of just stay consistent, baby steps. If you buy shares every year, every month, if you're putting money into your Roth IRA, things like that, be consistent. Set a certain amount you're going to do every month. Just so you know, this year it's 7,000. If it's increased from 6,000 and it's 6,500. This year it's 7,000 that you put annually into your Roth IRA if you're under the age of 50. I believe it's 7,500 for those over the age of 50. So if you have questions, I will definitely help you. We're not here for that for today, but we're just doing shameless plugs. Uh, Helping with making sure that you're educated when it's coming to education with your home buying and selling and things like that. Raquel's your girl. I don't know nothing about that. So she answers all those questions. But if it's money, budgeting, anything that has to do with money, like I said,
Please,
she wants them.
yes,
She wants to empower
sir.
you about home ownership. I want to empower you about where your money is going and what you're doing with it, and how can we get you to where you're trying to go. And like she said, you don't have to use me, but you can use me for my knowledge and go somewhere else. I don't care as long as you know what you're going to do and you understand, rather than going somewhere and then somebody hoodwinking you and scamming you into things. I want you to go with your chest up and confident, knowing where you're going and what you're trying to achieve without somebody trying to pull the wool over your eyes. So, girl, like I said, like you said already, this was very intense and a lot of information. But I feel like somebody, even if it's one nugget that somebody receives from this, I think it's worthwhile.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, where we will be back with another episode next week on a weekly basis. We're gonna try to do weekly. We're working on consistency. So I really, really do appreciate you for listening. Those out there that took the time to listen. I hope you found this information helpful. Share this episode with your friends, family, cousins, brothers, uncles, the haters, anybody that you need to have listen and little what's that called? They need a checkup. Anyways, they need to be checked up on or whatever. The
Mm-hmm.
checking, they
Just
like
check
need to
in.
be checked. I can't even think of the
Mm-hmm.
word, but my aunts and my grandma say it all the time. It's like a wake up call,
Oh, okay.
but it's another word. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. But anyways, if they need a wake up call and this is something, it's a new year. We're doing new us. And thanks for listening to Desert Dialogues. I'm Raquel.
Thank you. And I'm Esther.
All right.